What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is officially the first weekly rotation of the new year, 2023, and I had, as per usual, an interesting lineup. I got a few things a little bit fresher this time around, some stuff you may not be expecting, a few iris fragrances. There's, as per usual, quite the variety, and I feel like it was a great way to ring in the new year. So let's talk about it. It's week number 160. Stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday, this is one that I just came off of wearing quite a few Zaharoff fragrances last week. And for those of you that for some reason it bothers you when I wear those, I don't know, kick rocks, I guess. I don't know. But I was in the mood for rosé, so that's what the hell I did. I actually wore it all day long. I wore it out the shower. Just a magnificent smoky rose fragrance. On my skin, it's all about the incense. Beautiful. I mean, not the most masculine fragrance on the planet, but when it comes to rose, it's pretty masculine overall, though works great for ladies. My wife really enjoys this. You guys have heard me talk about this many times, those of you that are regulars here on the channel. And there's just something special about it. There's a little bit of sweetness that's not overdone. It's warm, it's woody, without having an oud funk or medicinal tone to it in any way. Just a warm wood smell from the oud. Just absolutely stunning stuff. And then, like I said, that evening when I got out the shower, it was time for a shave, so here's the aftershave splash. I use the shave set as well because it's just a fantastic experience. Those of you wet shavers that haven't experienced the shave set that is done in collaboration with Gentleman's Nod, you might be missing out. Oh, man, it's hard to say it's the best set because they all have something different to offer. It's a different experience when you lather up the shave soap and then apply the aftershave splash and then give yourself a few sprays of the fragrance after the fact. It really creates its own spa-like type of experience. So I would encourage you, definitely check this stuff out if you're into traditional shaving, but all day long and then out the shower, Zaharoff Signature Rosé. Moving into Monday, we slid right over from a rose fragrance to an iris fragrance, and this might be, it's definitely one of, but it's possible that it might be the most popular men's iris fragrance of all time. I'm talking about Dior Homme Intense. This is my large 5.1 ounce bottle. This is the older style formulation. This bottle is from 2018, 2019, something like that. Magnificent. Super long lasting. This stuff never seems to fade. After about an hour and a half to 2 hours, it does calm down greatly and sit a bit close to the skin. It has more of a moderate to mild sillage, where I do get light whiffs throughout my day, but this stuff's 12 plus hours on my skin. It really stays, and I don't just mean a faint skin scent at the 12-hour mark either. This stuff is super long lasting. So good. Waxy, lipstick makeup bag smell, the thing that is very polarizing about this fragrance that some people can't stand, and some people are so in love with about this fragrance. Now, I don't know what the newer formulation, the 2020 bottle to now smells like, because I know somebody's going to ask me in the comments. I've never smelled it. I don't know if I'll ever get my nose on it. I have a big 5.1 ounce bottle that I'll never finish of this formulation, so I'm good. And if you've ever tried Dior Homme Intense, you know the magic of this one. If you enjoy it anyways and have a bottle, you know the magic of this fragrance. Very classy, very dressy, more on the sweetness, not a heavy dose of leather. It's more about sweetness, muskiness. It's a little warm, but obviously the star of the show is this lipsticky, very powdery iris that makes it a bit on the formal side. So great stuff. During the day, Dior Homme Intense. And then when I got out the shower, wanted to switch it up to something fresh. So typically I like to wear this one to the gym, but I was in the mood for it out the shower. This is Kenneth Cole Blue. So what do I enjoy about this one so much? Aside from it clearly matching what I'm wearing, just noticed. It's a very synthetic, cheap version of Versace Mano Fresh. It's much more aquatic. It's got this synthetic orange smell, and it's a very musky tone. It's actually quite nice. Not everybody's going to enjoy it, but those of you that are budget conscious, you know how good this stuff is. This is a great cheap blue fragrance that can get you by in a pinch. It smells really good. Again, not the highest quality thing, but this might be my favorite Kenneth Cole fragrance. It's the one I reach for the most, mainly to go to the gym. But as you can see, I do rock it randomly, a casual scent for when it's high heat, which we are not in right now. It's nice and cold outside. There's still snow on the ground and ice and all that good stuff, which is going to be the thing for a while here. But out the shower, this makes for a fantastic, fresh, clean smell. Just good stuff. I like it. One of my favorite cheapies. Kenneth Cole Blue. Moving into Tuesday, this one seems to be getting a little bit of hype. I've heard Fragrance Buy has it for 18 bucks. I haven't looked myself. This was Neeb that told me that. So if you're interested, check that. Perfume Online, last I checked, was out of stock. That's where this bottle came from. But if you're looking for a great, cheap, beastly honey tobacco, Maison Alhambra Tabac, their version of Tobacolor or Tobacolor, I'm not sure which one's the correct pronunciation, from Dior. This is their version, clearly a knockoff of the bottle and a knockoff of the scent profile, but it doesn't smell super cheap. Does it smell like a Dior fragrance? No, it doesn't smell like Dior's quality, but for the around 20 bucks you'll pay for this one, it's hard to beat. Man, this is good stuff. Sweet, thick, honeyed tobacco. The tobacco does get a little bit more on the drier side as it starts to settle down. It's warm and ambery. It's pretty linear. It doesn't really change much. What you get at the top, you're going to get many hours into the lifespan of the fragrance. It's just a really good fragrance. If you like sweet tobacco scents, you're interested in strong performance, which most of you are, if not all of you, and you don't want to spend much money. I mean, this is hype beast potential. Sits right here in this bottle. During the day, I just did a full review as well. If you want to hear more, check out the full review. But during the day, Alhambra Tabac. Then I got the shower. I mean, wear these heavier fragrances during the day. I just want something fresh out the shower at night. Again, we're matching the outfit. Blue's my favorite color. First Instinct Together from Abercrombie and Fitch. No stranger to the channel. Anybody that's watched at least a couple handfuls of videos on this channel, you've seen me talk about this one at some point, whether it be the full review that I did on it, the line review on the entire First Instinct line, a multitude of weekly rotation videos, list topics or seasonal videos where this fits in. I've talked about this fragrance a lot on this channel, and it's because it's one of my favorite cheap fragrances. It's so good. I have multiple bottles of this. Again, no secret if you're familiar with me and this fragrance. Picture Invictus Aqua. The gradient design gives it away, right? Invictus Aqua, the original First Instinct and YSLY, had a baby, and it's called First Instinct Together. And the foster parents for it, I guess, is Abercrombie and Fitch. I know that was a weird analogy, but that's basically what it is. It's an amalgamation of the three of them kind of combined. You'll get nuances of each of them, more Invictus Aqua than anything else. It's on the synthetic side. Performance is really loud at first. Not the longest lasting thing. It's like a 4-ish, 5-hour fragrance on my skin. Not too bad, not terrible, but it smells cheap, but out in the air, it smells amazing. I love this stuff. I use it for a lot. Out the shower, First Instinct Together. Moving into Wednesday, this is an interesting combo. One that I've been talking about lately, fell into the rotation. Rochase Moustache Eau de Parfum. What a beautiful fragrance. A lot of hype surrounding this one over the last few years. While hype's kind of killed off, you don't really hear a ton about it anymore. Still a great fragrance. YSL Tuxedo-esque type of scent profile. Pepper, patchouli, amber benzoin, vanilla. The main takeaways from this. Performance is well above average. Not a monster, but far from average or weak. Even if you have drier skin, I can't imagine you getting at minimum some average performance 5-6 hours out of this. This is a really good fragrance. This is my 75 ml. I got it a while back. I've done a full review on this one. This time of year is when I like to reach for it. And for as dressy as it may come across to many, I like to wear this one casually, as I do with most of my fragrances. This one's nothing short of remarkable. This is such a beautiful scent profile. Very captivating. Very, very magnetic in many ways. Want to pull people in when they get a whiff of it because it's just a beautifully done, well-composed scent profile. Copycat kind of stuff for the most part. Not one-to-one with Tuxedo from what I understand. I haven't tried Tuxedo, but I've tried a bunch of stuff that smells like Tuxedo, and this is my preferred choice when it comes to those, because you just can't go wrong. If you can find this one for a decent price, I would suggest getting it. There's a reason it got a ton of hype during the day. Moustache Eau de Parfum. Then we got out the shower, one of the most polarizing fragrances to ever be created. Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. So the whole reason I even wore this is because I decided, it popped in my head to do a TikTok video that I also shared as an Instagram reel, talking about, like, I kind of made fun of how it's a joke, it's shit, all this other stuff, it's a garbage fragrance, and I sprayed it on myself and I said it smells amazing. Some of you that saw that, you know what I'm talking about. I think people take it too seriously sometimes. This is getting the whole, douchebag tie-in to it at this point. There's a lot of people I know that wear this because they're not real big into fragrances that are, really good people. So certain fragrances get a stigma for certain people, but it kind of lumps everyone together that likes the fragrance. And look, I'm not sitting here trying to be an advocate for it, but I have my moments when I like to wear it too. And I thought it was pretty funny to do that. So I ended up spraying 4 sprays of this, and this is a 2015 bottle. Any of you familiar with the launch batches of Dior Sauvage EDT, you know how strong this is. So 4 sprays. I went anosmic very quickly. My wife told me this room smelled nothing but Sauvage after the fact. But it was an interesting choice for out of the shower. Way more performance than I ever normally like to lounge around when I wind down in the evenings. Metallic shower gel, peppery spice, juicy bergamot. The quintessential shower gel scent that gets love and hate in the evening, out the shower. Sauvage EDT. Moving into Thursday, it was basically Freshie Day. I wore Freshies all day long, and this one's new to the collection. I've fallen in love with this one. This smells great, guys. This is a great new cheapie from Afnan. 9 a.m. dive. This stuff's awesome. Really, really digging this one. A bit of a Bleu de Chanel type of opening, a little bit of YSLY, a little bit of Dylan Blue. I've heard Afternoon Swim minus Musk. I've heard a bunch of different things. To me, I get more of that Dylan Blue de Chanel YSLY tie-in. Definitely get that Bleu de Chanel type of opening, but as it settles, it starts to change. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of a variety of things. It's citrus, it's airy, it's a little minty fresh. There's a nice underlying spicy tone and sweetness. There's this ginger smell. There's a lot of different things going on, even though it's not the deepest of scents. There's a few layers to peel back with this one. This is, look, super redundant if you have multiple blue fragrances in your collection. This is crazy redundant for me. Again, matching the outfit. Just kind of worked out that way. But this is one that I'm really glad I scooped up. I picked this up. This came from Kingdom Fragrances, $35. At the recording of this, Steve is out of stock. I would definitely keep an eye on the site. If you're interested, I'm not sure where else has it. I know there's other places that have it, but that's where this bottle came from Kingdom Fragrances. And I'll continue to enjoy this one. I did a first impressions video, full review coming down the pipeline. At some point, I have to wear it more. It's not the most ideal of seasons right now for this, but when I'm in the mood for fresh, this will probably be the first thing that comes to mind because I'm really digging this one. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10 on my first impressions. That should tell you how much I like this. During the day, Afnan's 9 a.m. dive. When I got the shower, we stuck with fresh, went a different route. We went with a classy freshie in many ways. Zaharoff Signature Citrine. Beautiful fragrance. Beautiful. One of the better openings I've ever smelled. Sweet orange, limey clementine, incense, and amber. Main takeaways for me with this fragrance. So bright, fresh, and juicy, but also dark nuances supporting it in the backdrop. Light woody tone, smoky essence to it with this incense note. It's just a beautiful fragrance. Not a performance beast by any means. It's a true freshie at its core. It's all about the magic and brightness in that opening. Short-lived. It does start to sit a bit closer to the skin if your skin's not heating up, if you're not hot, sweaty, outside, whatever. In the heat, this one needs the heat to project heavy. Not necessarily for everyone, because I can tell you the sillage on George is ridiculous with this one. You can smell him from 10 feet away an hour after he sprays it. Something about his skin chemistry just jives with this one. For me, after about an hour, hour and a half, it does calm down greatly. It's more of a personal fragrance than something that's going to really grab a bunch of attention. Unless you start to heat up, then you'll start to get a little bit stronger of a sillage. But believe it or not, stays on my skin for a good while. It's every bit of 6 or 7 hours on my skin. I know some get worse, some get about the same, some even get better. Everybody's, mileage will vary, as Justin likes to say. And that's the truth, but there's no denying just how beautiful this stuff smells. I'm going to spray it again. This is one that I don't count sprays. I'm just reckless with how I spray it. I spray it in the front, the sides, the back, whatever. I just go to spraying because the sillage, while you can smell this one, is absolutely freaking amazing. One of the most beautiful, probably the best smelling Zaharoff fragrance, if we're being honest with one another. It's just people desire this crazy performance, so you need the heavier fragrances when it comes to these natural citruses. It's not the best thing for longevity, obviously, but beautiful out the shower, I got to tell you, especially with the soap bar that I have. Out the shower, Zaharoff Signature Citrine. Moving into Friday, I rocked this one during the day. I rocked this one again when I got out the shower. I did another 2 sprays because I figured why not. I was loving this. This has become one of my favorite Iris fragrances. especially as far as designer irises. It's up there on that pedestal with fragrances like Dior Homme Parfum, for example. We're talking about Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male Le Parfum. This stuff is absolutely freaking fantastic. If you haven't tried this one yet, and you like iris, you're missing out. It's warm, it's spicy, it's aromatic, it's sweet, but it's very floral. Has a similar type of iris to the Dior Homme line, where it's a little on the makeup bag, lipstick, waxy type of tone. Not as heavy as something like Dior Homme Intense, which we talked about earlier. But man, this one's magnificent. Le Male meets extra spices and iris. This might be my favorite Le Male flanker. I think it is. This is so good. This is so good. So glad to have this one finally. I did a first impressions last year with a decant I had. Said I was going to wait to do a review till I got a bottle because I knew eventually I was going to get it. Have it now. Probably going to be doing a review before this month is out. At the recording of this, it's early in January. So if you haven't tried this one yet, you really should. If you like iris, there's no reason not to. Find a decant, get a carded sample, official sample, whatever. Find a way to get your nose on this one online because it is absolutely magnificent. All day long, Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male Le Parfum. Finally, on Saturday, I think I got inspired to wear this one because I have a bottle of the Parfum flanker coming. We're talking about Eros Eau de Parfum. You know, we'll see what happens. You see that juice level. I wear this more than people think. I like to wear this one to run errands sometimes. This doesn't make a lot of weekly rotation videos because I'll just do like 2 or 3 sprays and we'll go grocery shopping or whatever. Because usually these errand running fragrances, if I wore something weaker earlier in that day and it's kind of faded, fragrances like this is what I'll reach for, and I'll have that till I go take my shower that evening. And this is a tester bottle, by the way. Love this stuff. Ambery, apple, sweet, vanilla. Beautiful amber wood smell. I kind of like certain synthetics. Actually, it's still on my hand from last night. I sprayed my hand last night when I gathered the fragrances, moved them from over there to over here. I just really, really dig this one, guys. Actually, yesterday was Saturday. It's Sunday at the recording of this. So, yeah, I wore this yesterday. But beautiful stuff. I know not everybody's a fan of Eros. The EDT I've always liked, but I never thought it was so good that I had to have a bottle. Whereas I knew I would like the EDP. I blind bought this, and I was right. I like this way better than the Eau de Toilette, and I have a feeling the Parfum is going to top this one for me. So I'm really excited. It got me in the mood to wear the DNA and kind of revisit this one, because we may discuss which one's better. Should you get the EDP? Should you get the Parfum? We may do a video coming up soon on that one, but it was a joy to wear during the day. Versace Eros Eau de Parfum. And then when I got out the shower, it was time for another good shave, and I haven't done business over pleasure in a little while. So, soap, splash, fragrance. I love this stuff. This is my previous release with Zaharoff that's no longer available. There still are some shave kits you can get from Gentleman's Nod if you're interested in this. And, man, I love this stuff. I'm almost out of one. I have 2 shave soaps. And then you can see the splash is getting down the levels right there. Get the focus. Focus. You must focus. It doesn't want to focus. There we go, I got it to focus. So you can see the level, because it has a pretty good restrictor, so I don't have to use a ton of it. And then we're getting down there on this bottle. I have 2 bottles I spray from. This stuff, whew, man, I love it. One of the best smelling fresh iris fragrances ever, and I say that with all the bias in the world, because this stuff is, again, you see, blue's my favorite color. You get it now? Even though blue fragrances is my go-to, it's not the only thing I enjoy. Iris is actually my favorite, hence the reason there's iris in both my creations with Zaharoff. And this was a beautiful creamy ginger, fresh spicy juiciness at the top. It was Sichuan pepper. You had coriander to give you that spicy, fresh top with the bergamot. Settles into this creamy ginger Florentine iris combination. Dries down into a creamy Palo Santo. This is definitely creamy. Not overly powdery, but it is powdery. It's got a warm amber, a smoky wood accord from Gaiac wood. I still stand by how amazing this fragrance smells. This, everything I wanted it to be. And it's always a joy when I go back to it, because it's been a little while since I've worn it. But out the shower, it was time for a good shave. Zaharoff and TLTG reviews. Business over pleasure. Well, that was this week's rotation. First rotation of January 2023. First of the new year. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What'd you guys wear? What was your first week of the year, your first rotation like? I'm very curious to read those comments and see what you guys have been rocking. Did you wear any of this stuff during the week? Like I said, very curious. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the fragrances I wore for the first week of the year, you give them a spray now. Pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.